Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Brooke. If you are new here, I am currently expecting my 6th baby, and I decided to potty train at 38 weeks pregnant because why not? If you're interested in finding out about the method that I used and tips and tricks, then please stay tuned for this video and do not forget to subscribe because I have a lot more in store. Keep in mind that most toddlers are not ready or not completely potty trained by the age of 3, and some might not feel comfortable until even after that. And if your child is on the spectrum or is a little bit more nonverbal, it's going to take them longer, and it's perfectly fine. Like, we don't have to follow society standards and get it done by 2. Before doing any potty training, I suggest that you make sure that your child is actually ready, because any time that you're trying to potty train, if your child is not ready, it can actually cause regression, which will make them avoid all potty training and bathroom trips. It can actually make them grow fear of using the restroom, so don't try to push or be overly encouraging if your child is not showing signs of readiness. Signs of readiness would be as if you've noticed your toddler hiding when using the restroom, especially when they go poop. They like to go and hide behind the table or under chairs or get behind desks and furniture. That would be one major sign of being ready to potty train, because they're self-aware and they understand the feeling. They don't like it, they're uncomfortable, they've grown shy to using the restroom in front of people, and that's kind of a big deal. Undressing, especially after using the bathroom, and it's super frustrating when your baby takes a massive poop and then decides to rip the diaper off and throw it across the room. It's really gross, but that's another readiness sign. More signs of readiness would be curiosity. If you're using the restroom, or if somebody else is using the restroom and they're talking about it, they're talking about their anatomy, those are all signs of readiness. So potty training is recommended for toddlers that are 18 months or older, but if you want to get your child ready before then, you can always take them to the restroom with you. Praise yourself when you use the bathroom. Look at what mommy or daddy did. Clap for yourself, sing songs, get them aware of what the restroom's for. That way when 18 months does roll around, they're a little bit more aware of what the restroom's for. So the cons to the 3-day method, I'm just going to go into that first because there's no point in finishing this video off if it's not going to work for you or your lifestyle. But one is that it's a 3-day method, which means you have to have 3 completely devoted days to staying at home with your toddler and encouraging this potty training. You can't go anywhere. You're basically stuck in the house for 3 solid days. So if you're working from home, or if you have to get out of the house, there's other things you have to do during the day, this probably won't be the best method for you, but you can always take little bits and pieces of it and use them in what will work for you. You can kind of customize your own potty training. Might be a good idea. So some of the other methods that you can find are the CO method, which is child-oriented. They also have self-training, and then they have something that's as free as just the naked weekend. So make sure you check those out to see if any of those are a better fit for you than this 3-day method. So you're going to need to have this list of supplies. Get everything on the list because it's going to make this so much easier. So get a potty seat. That's the little cover that goes on the toilet itself, not a potty chair. And that's just going to get your child to be comfortable with using the actual toilet. Instead of having to go from potty chair to then a potty seat on the toilet, it's just going to get you right to where you need to be quicker. You're going to want to get a good step stool that has a grip across the bottom in case there's any sort of accidents. You don't want it to be slipping around on the floor. You want it to be very safe. And also because for some of these toddlers, they're kind of short and getting up on the toilet can be kind of difficult. So if there's any sort of lean or pushback while they're getting up on the toilet, you just want to make sure that they have that safety to go along with it. You're going to want to get lots of underwear. They have training pants and absorbent underwear. They're a little bit thicker in the crotch, so they offer a little bit of absorbency, but not much. They'll still leak out a lot. You're gonna wanna get lots of those because you'll end up doing a ton of laundry if not. It's easier if you can just hand wash it, wring it out, let it dry, but it's still gonna take some time to dry, of course. They're thicker. You're just gonna want a lot. So I'd suggest buying at least 12. Expecting your child to use the restroom, they say it takes about 2 hours for your child to use the restroom or have a full bladder, 2 to 3 hours, but average time is 2 hours. Picture how many hours in the day your child will be using the restroom. We're not gonna focus on nighttime or nap time. We're just gonna focus on while they're awake. So still have some diapers on hand for bedtime, nap time, even some car trips if you have to run out real quick. One tip that I came across was to put the diaper over or outside of the underwear. That way if there is an accident, you still have that cloth or the underwear underneath that is not absorbing any urine and the child still feels it, but you also have an easier cleanup because there's not a huge spill on your furniture. They also sell waterproof pants, which are just like a kind of like plastic bag that has an elastic that goes around each leg hole and around the stomach or the waist, and this will kind of prevent spilling. It's still going to be a big mess, but this might work really well with the training pants and then the waterproof diaper over top, just so you get that easier cleanup, which might be really nice to have. Stickers. Let your toddler pick out their own stickers. Just let them pick it out. Make it super fun for them. Go to the store, go online, whatever your preference is. Let your child pick out their own stickers and a little set of markers. Or they can just go to the crayon box and pick out their own crayons that they want to see on their chart. So if you have a timer or some sort of alarm system on your phone or an app that you can use that will let you set up a timer, you're going to want to set up a timer for every 2 to 3 hours. Depending on when your child's had a drink or something to eat, you might need to set it a little bit closer together. Like I said, the average bladder filling time for a toddler is 2 to 3 hours. So you're gonna wanna be taking your child to use the restroom every 2 to 3 hours. I'm gonna explain the chart that you're gonna wanna have or that you're gonna create and make it super easy. I recommend doing the chart that your child can reach. Letters are really big, has something going on for them. They can see their name, make it really fun. You don't have to make it super fancy, but it is nice to see lots of colors and make it really inviting for your toddler. That's why I suggested them using their own colors, because it's something that you guys can do together. Even if they want to scribble on it, no big deal. Let them have fun. Let them create it. This is to encourage them and help them feel really, really good about themselves. So make it fun for them. I got a 70-cent poster board from Walmart, which was perfect because I've been able to cut it down quite a few times so I can make multiple charts because I didn't really think 3 days was enough. It was good, it's a start, but there's gonna be more time and it's gonna take a little longer than 3 days, but 3 days was perfect to get the ball rolling. On the chart, you're gonna wanna put your child's name down. You're gonna wanna do 2 sides, one for pee and one for poop. And then you're gonna wanna do the 3 days that you're working on. So for us, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then you're gonna wanna start filling in your times. And like I said, you might need to wake up. You might not be able to say, okay, 7 o'clock, we're gonna start here. You guys might sleep in, so don't fill it out ahead of time. Do it day by day. And for any time that he did use the restroom, I would give him a sticker and it would go on the pee side or the poop side. And anytime he had an accident, I put an X by the time that there was an accident. That way I'd know for tomorrow, okay, this is about how long it took for him to have to use the bathroom. And it was just kind of like nice to have that note of when the accidents were happening and when he actually went, because then I kind of have an idea of how often he really is using the restroom. I also recommend you get all of your patients together because you're gonna need lots of patience. You're gonna need a ton of it. You're gonna need to stay super calm, level-headed, and ready for this because it can become extremely frustrating and overwhelming, especially when you wanna see your child succeed. It's messy, it's dirty, you're cleaning up after them all day long, they're constantly being showered. You just have to tell yourself that this is going to work out in the end. Tell yourself that. You don't want your child to see any sort of frustrations, anger. We're not going to be yelling or making them sit on the potty for more than 3 to 5 minutes. That should be the maximum amount of time that they're sitting on the potty, because it then turns into discipline or somewhere they're stuck and they're unable to leave that area, and it does a reverse effect. So it'll actually cause regression. You want to make sure that they are extremely comfortable there. It's a good time, it's fun, it's encouraging, and your main focus is pee and poop. You do not use pull-ups because they are too absorbent. Just like you wouldn't potty train your child using diapers, you can't use the pull-ups either. Your toddler needs to feel themselves getting wet or dirty in order to actually understand what's fully going on, because hopefully the feeling of having way too much pee, it can be uncomfortable, it can burn, which is not really a good thing. But the wetness, the discomfort, the poop being right up on the skin, no absorbency, is going to be way more yucky than a thick, absorbent, warm diaper. There's going to be a ton of accidents, lots of accidents. I think my son's first day, he would have a pee on the toilet and then an accident. Pee on the toilet, then an accident. So we were cleaning up pee constantly. His skin was burning, he was uncomfortable, we were going to the bath a lot, and I actually think because he's a water baby that he was kind of purposely using the restroom on himself just so he could get in the bath, which was kind of taking us away from what we were trying to do. But the thing I had to remind myself was that accidents are good. There's some pretty good accidents here because they don't like the feeling. So it's actually teaching them it's uncomfortable for them and they don't want to feel that. You peed, you had an accident on yourself, like that's not good. And no, you don't get a sticker this time. So for them, they're probably like, oh no, like I needed that sticker. No one's clapping for me. So it'll actually encourage them to go use the restroom more. Another thing that they don't recommend with this method is having your child sit on the potty with a book or while watching the TV, because then they're not really focused on what they're supposed to be doing. They get more distracted by the book or the TV show, and they're just sitting on the potty, and it feels like any other time. You know, it's not anything special. It's just regular TV time, regular book time, and they're taken away from what they're actually trying to learn. So don't have them do that. Also remember that you have the timer. You're the one telling your child when it's time to use the restroom. Don't ask them if they need to go. Tell them it's time. We're going to the restroom now. However, whatever wording you're going to use, it's time to go. Let's go pee. Let's go pee-pee. Let's go poo-poo. Let's go sit on the toilet, but not do you need to go, because ultimately they're going to be distracted with what they're doing and they're not going to want to stop that. It's not really going to encourage them or get them out of their own mind and onto the toilet. You just need to take them to the toilet. A lot of the times when you take them to the toilet in the beginning, they're going to pee just a tiny bit. They're not actually fully emptying their bladder, and their bladder may not be completely full. Say if you start off your morning by taking your child to the restroom at 7 o'clock when they first wake up and they don't use the restroom, you might want to try again in an hour just to see if their bladder has filled up. Maybe they already, soaked their diaper overnight and they weren't quite ready to use the bathroom yet. You can always give them their drink or whatever they have in the morning, feed them breakfast, and then take them to the restroom and start your timer there. It doesn't have to be set at any specific time, but after that meal or that drink that they've had, you're gonna wanna go use the restroom again, 2 hours later, and then kind of build your schedule up from there. So I posted a quick video on my TikTok. If you want to go check the video itself out, you can go look for it. My name is Brooke So Basic on TikTok, and you'll probably see it up there. It says potty training on it, and I was super happy to get such a positive comment section, because there were a ton of moms encouraging other moms, giving other tips and tricks. So I have a few of those tips and tricks here that I'm going to share now. Pro tip number 1 was to buy puppy training pads and lay them across your furniture. If your baby has a certain area that they play in, lay them in there, because it makes cleanup a whole lot easier and it keeps your furniture from having pee stains. Another mom mentioned if you have to go out, or if you're gonna go in the car, say you have other kids to go pick up from school, you have to run to the grocery store. I think we mentioned putting the training pants and then a pull-up or a diaper over top, just so your child still gets the sensation. But you can also take your travel potty chair and line the inside with a diaper or a bag, something to make cleanup a lot easier. That's a good one. I really like that idea, especially for like long road trips when your child is actually potty trained. That would be super awesome. Packing an essential case for the car that has a little bit of everything: wet wipes, a water bottle, diapers just in case, extra changes of clothes, diaper rash cream, some Vaseline, just a few things that could help with keeping your child comfortable if they do have an accident, because urine can really start to burn their skin and we don't want them to be in pain. So I think that's a really great idea. One mom mentioned going onto Walmart's website, and I'll probably find it and link it down below, and finding a toilet seat that's for adults but also has the toddler seat insert, and she made it a point to say do not get the wooden one because wood is porous and it starts to stink really bad. So try to get the plastic one if they have it available. That way you're not even dealing with having to take off and on the potty seat. That's a good idea. One mom mentioned that she introduced the potty early on, like really early on, just so her child wouldn't grow the fear, because she had a toddler that was extremely afraid of using the toilet. So she had her baby within like 6 months of sitting on it just to get comfortable, and then she ended up doing the 3-day method when her child was ready, and that her son was potty trained by 20 months and her daughter was potty trained by 22 months. So I think that's a pretty good time. To be completely potty trained, that's pretty good. Another mom mentioned that you should not be afraid if your child starts to show any signs of regression. There's more time to potty train later. It doesn't have to be, I know a lot of parents have to have their child fully potty trained in order to go to a specific daycare. So I could see the stress in that, but it doesn't have to be super stressful. And especially if your child is feeling the energy and the whole vibe of the house and trying to force them to use it, and they see you're stressed out, they're gonna get stressed out and they're like, you know what, I don't wanna do this at all anymore. So staying calm and actually not being so afraid of seeing a little bit of regression might keep you in more of a positive mind space to be more encouraging. You have to be completely ready yourself in order to potty train your child. There's a lot of moms that are like, I don't want to have to be changing 2 diapers. I'm almost due with my baby, just like myself. I'm due in 2 weeks and I decided to do this. But I really felt that it was time for him, and he was showing a lot of signs of readiness. So we decided to do it, and it worked for us because my kids were on break from school for a week. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I went and did a huge grocery haul. So I was like, you know what, we have 3 days so we can completely be at home, and it worked. But if that's not gonna work for you, it's completely fine, and you can wait until there's a better time. That way, everybody's just on tune and in sync with each other. It makes it so much easier. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to read anything else, or like I said, sitting through a full-length video is not really your thing and you're more into reading, you can head over to my blog. It's mamabrook.com. I'll list any products that I used over there, along with the tips and tricks. That way you can easily just scroll through, read, go purchase what you need, and just be on your way to potty training. Please subscribe and like this video. And I hope you have a really great potty training journey. You got this? All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.